Could you be handling stress better? That's the topic that we're going to be addressing today on Flourish-Meant. I'm your host, Tina Yeager, and today I have a guest that's going to help us address some proven stress management strategies, and her name is Gaylyn Williams. She's the president of Relationship Resources, the author of 41 books, and a dynamic motivational speaker. Her books and training offer biblical, easy-to-apply strategies that have been proven worldwide with over 50,000 people. Welcome, Gaylyn. I cannot wait to hear what you have to share today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here with you.
Gaylyn, how prevalent is the issue of stress in our world today?
Just in America, I mean, some of the statistics are like crazy. At least 1 in 5, half the people would rate their stress levels at a minimum of 5, and a quarter of the people rate their stress levels at 75%. So like an 8 out of 10, and it's just growing. And depending on what people's lives are like, it can be significantly more, or where they live. Like I live in Israel part of the time, and the stress levels there are just over the top.
So stress is on the rise, and we don't expect it to go away anytime soon. What are some indicators that we need to be doing something different with the way that we're managing that stress? Everybody tries, but not all of our strategies are effective.
A lot of times we can feel it. We can feel it in our bodies or in our minds. Our minds can be just going like crazy, but we can also see it in our relationships. So I think most of us kind of have an idea when we're feeling overstressed, unless you're just continually living on that edge, then you may not recognize it. And that's when it almost becomes more dangerous.
I think people do tend to believe that stress has become our normal way of living, and they want to just accept it rather than finding ways to deal with it. It's as if we can't get around it. You might as well accept that you're going to be stressed every day. We used to say when someone asked, "How are you?" "Fine." Now we say busy. That's the normal response. And some of that could be busy and stressed as well. Why is it important to learn to cope with stress rather than accept it as part of our way of living?
Well, one thing I want to say is that stress in itself is not bad. It's when we get overstressed, because we all need to have some level of stress. Otherwise, like I would have never gotten out of bed this morning. I wouldn't have, there wouldn't even be a reason to breathe. So we do need a certain amount of stress, but it's important for us to figure out where our level of stress is, where we are functioning the best. We can be so much more productive in whatever we're doing, more effective in our lives, whether it's in our relationships, whether it's in our ministries, our work, whatever we're doing, we can be so much more effective if we are managing that stress well.
Stress leads to some health problems too, as well.
Oh, a lot of health problems. Some doctors that I've seen say that most health problems come from stress in some way. They're either affected by it or they're caused by it. So one of the things that I like to do is show people different ways that stress can affect them, so that we can figure out, okay, how is it affecting me, and what do I need to do about it?
What's one of those first ways that you would teach a client or someone that you're working with to look at themselves and look at their lifestyle to determine how to make some changes?
The first thing that I do is lay the foundation, because people don't understand stress. And a lot of times people think, oh, it's the stress situation. It's what happened to me. But that's only one part of of the stress. It's what we bring with us into that situation that affects our total amount of stress. It's our internal stress, so it's our emotions, things that we have not dealt with in the past. But then also our perspective can really impact stress. I wrote the book and did training with my dad until he died, and he had a story about two different couples when he was on the mission field and he was counseling these two different couples, and they both lived on the same street, worked for the same organization, did basically the same jobs. And one of them came in and go, "Oh, we're so sad. We have to leave this amazing country. We love the people. We love the work. We love everything about it. But her mom is sick, and so we have to leave." The next couple came in and said, "We hate this country. We are leaving. We don't want to have anything more to do with work, doing this job, because we hate the people. We hate the living situation, everything about it we hate." And it was the exact same situation, but it was their perspective was different. And their perspective was impacted by their internal stress, by what's going on inside them that they brought with them into the situation.
So how we choose to look at a situation can affect how resilient we are to external stressors. What is a way that we can practically shift our perspective? It's not like you just turn off a light switch and get rid of those negative thoughts. What is something we can do and apply in our lives to make ourselves more resilient in our mindsets to the stressors that we face?
Well, I think there's a series of things that really help. If you can only do one thing, but it's not the answer to everything, but it is just focusing on the Lord, just taking our eyes off of our situations, because it's so easy to look at our pile of junk and our pile of stress, everything that's happening to us, then we're not focusing on the Lord. And so just to take our eyes off of ourselves and our situations and put them onto the Lord. And I know I saw this incredibly in my own life when my second son was born with multiple problems. And the first 3 months, I was a mess. I was so stressed out and overwhelmed and just not hardly coping with life. It's a long story, but at one point when the doctor sat us down to tell us that he only had 6 months to a year left to live, it was like the most amazing thing. It's like something switched in my brain and I realized I'd been trusting the doctors. I'd been trying to figure things out on my own, and it was the most amazing thing. At that moment, when my son had just gotten his death sentence, I turned my focus on the Lord. And it was amazing how this joy and peace that God gave me. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy to keep that. The little chorus that says, "Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace." I used to sing that song, sometimes 40 or 50 times until I really could get my eyes off of my situation. And then God would bring that peace and the stress would go away. I mean, I had a very real problem. Every day I was watching my son go downhill. But when I turned my eyes on the Lord, that stress went away.
Well, I'd love to get into some more of your easy to apply, practical, proven strategies. And we're going to do that in the second part of our conversation. But for now, I would love for you to list the links where people can find your book and all of the other amazing resources that you have to offer.
Well, if you just go to Tips for Less Stress, tipsforlessstress.com. And there will be a link on there to the book and to information about workshops and also information about other things that I have. So you just need the one, and that will take you actually to my full website if you want to look at other things.
I hope that all of you listening feel a little bit better equipped to manage your stress. And of course, I also hope that you will come back for the next episode of Flourish-Meant.